What's going on, all my fellow LaLa landers out there in YouTube world? Jeremy, Independence Channel. Welcome to another episode of Real Truth. Today, I bring you attorney Robert Barnes, who's covered the Russian collusion investigation ranging from Russia to Ukraine to private corporate entities hired by other governmental, bureaucratic, corruption oriented entities to facilitate illegal operations and spying, concealment and cover up of basically mass crimes, federal crimes against U.S. citizens that the bureaucracy is allowed to get away with. The establishment, the deep state, as it's come to be known. All you can do is smile. All you can do is smile. Robert Barnes, the attorney who's been covering a lot of recent and past judiciary processes, from the Alex Jones trial, civil trial, to the Mueller investigation, which had to do with Russian collusion, and the Christopher Steele dossier that included collusion between the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, probably the IRS, because the IRS has to investigate money laundering, tax evasion, certain things, payments from certain people. This is how they get dirt on one another to essentially get somebody to do what they want them to do in terms of taking care of business from an establishment perspective. Anyway, we're going to talk about the John Durham investigation. Basically, nothing is going to come of it, despite the hopes and dreams that everybody had. William Barr, the former handler of Bill Clinton when he was the governor of Arkansas under George H.W. Bush, all the way to John Durham, the former FBI attorney Klein Smith, who got a slap on the wrist for committing federal crimes that led to unlawful and illegal spying on an American citizen, Donald Trump, who was at the time in 2016 running for president. And then once he was president, illegal FISA warrants. All right. So, and this has all been uncovered. The media is corrupt. They are a part of the cover-up plan. They have been. And Robert Barnes is going to explain how the media colluded with people just like John Durham back in the day and today to cover up what's actually going on. You might even get a little hint of Whitey Bulger's involvement with the FBI. So with that being said, enjoy the content, everybody. Please like, subscribe, share if you have the balls to. Otherwise, all you can do is smile. All you can do is smile. Enjoy.
I may be getting this wrong, but I'm very depressed about the whole Danchenko prosecution. You were telling us, Robert, months ago, this isn't going to go anywhere. It seems to me you are right.
Yeah, sadly so. And it reflected two things. One, Durham's history. So, Durham got credit for the Whitey Bulger expose of FBI agents in Boston. What people did not know is what he was really there to do was to shift the blame to a rogue agent or two and hide the fact that the lead U.S. attorney there that was running mob investigations was actually implicated. The short answer is the FBI chose the Whitey Bulger's group over other groups in terms of engaging in criminal activity. Whitey Bulger wasn't really an informant. They falsely listed him as one in order to protect him. And in fact, the Whitey Bulger had a deal with the U.S. attorney running the anti-mob cases to provide personal protection from assassination. So what you had was the FBI in the mob business, in the organized crime business, which study FBI long enough, not really a shock or surprise, sadly. But that's what Durham was really there to do, was to shift the blame from the Whitey Bulger tried to get into this in his criminal trial. It's the only reason he went to trial. They basically foreclosed him from getting into it because he wanted to expose, I was never a rat. I was never an informant. I was the FBI's agent, effectively. They wanted me engaged in this kind of organized crime to compete with their real target, which was the Italian mob organizations in particular in Boston, and to protect their own people in the process, and helped elicit and then helped fraudulently forge charges against other people, set up other people for crimes that Whitey Bulger committed as part of this. This is how expansive it was, while getting nice little bonuses on the side. So kind of like the FBI agent who just got convicted in LA that the media completely suppressed the story of. This was a National Security Division guy, high-ranking guy. He was working for the Armenian mob. So he forgot that he got a Ducati as a gift. Who forgets they got a Ducati? I can forget forgetting a Ford maybe, or a Fiat, but you forget you got a Ducati. I mean, that's how crazy that guy's lifestyle was. Institutional media totally suppressed how deep that corruption goes, and that's who Durham is. He did it. He really showed his cards in the CIA Guantanamo case about torture, where John Brennan and others illicitly spied on the United States Senate, no less. Durham was the one who hushed all that up, never brought any charges. And so when he was chosen by Bill Barr, given Bill Barr's history, which I did a hush-hush on Bill Barr and the extraordinary history, you can find it at vivabarneslaw.locals.com, including a certain agency his father may have worked for in the 1940s. But basically, Durham was a cover-up artist, and it was clear with the Kleinsmith prosecution, because there you have a high-ranking FBI lawyer who is perjuring affidavits and declarations to the National Security Court we have here, the FISA Court, Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act Court. It's supposed to be limiting the intelligence community. Of course, it's their tool, sadly, but that's another story for another day. And he got to walk. He got to do no time at all. He was reinstated to the bar within about 9 months or a year. Isn't it amazing? The people that, suppose the bar cares about the ethics of the profession, and that's why they always have to go after these dissident lawyers. But a government lawyer gets caught perjuring documents that lead to spying on an opposing presidential candidate and an American citizen without lawful basis, and he gets reinstated as soon as his probation sentence is up. Isn't that nice? In the District of Columbia. While the same District of Columbia is trying to disbar Rudy Giuliani for merely talking about the elections in public, not even some of his legal actions. It's like, wow. Tells you who and what they're really about. And you see DC, they're asking that Steve Bannon get a 6-month jail sentence on Friday. So Steve Bannon, who objected to a lawless congressional committee going after him, is supposed to serve 6 months in jail, the maximum possible sentence, while Kleinsmith, who actually committed a felony, didn't serve a day in jail. Nothing exposes the disparity of the discrepancy than that about where Durham really was going. Because Kleinsmith's the guy you flip and get him. He could rat out Peter Strzok. He could rat out James Comey. He could rat out everybody. And when that didn't happen, that meant, okay, we're back to old Durham. This is an effort to cover up the FBI's crimes, not expose them, and blame outsiders for saying, by golly, they just got fooled by these half-wit, nitwit, our man in Havana types. I mean, people that would make the Taylor of Panama look like a genius source of institutional credibility, some of these people. I mean, some of their stories were so ludicrous, so laughable, so bad. Danchenko, the reason why they had to hide him and keep him on the payroll was because he told them, oh, by the way, the dossier is all crap. That Steele dossier, that's just crap. They're like, oh, okay, we got to hide that from everybody, hide that from Congress. The Mueller committee complicit in hiring it up, covering it up. So, yeah, sadly, Danchenko proves that Durham was always going to be a no-go. But if Republicans take back the House and the Senate, that will change. And if someone like Trump wins in 2024, Trump's a person who believes in revenge. You can agree or disagree with his principle on that, but he's very open about this.